welcome back to another episode of Talks with Dorks, your favourite geek podcast, as we like to call it, because it's our favourite geek podcast. This week it's just me, but I have got a very special guest. I've got Troy Booth with me, aka Captain Tempest. Troy, welcome to Talks with Dorks, buddy.
Buddy, thank you.
So, Troy, just if you're those that are just listening, we always say, get over to YouTube, or if you're on Spotify, use the video side of it. Troy, as you can see in his background straight away, you'll see two very special costumes. One being my favourite superhero of all time, Superman, the other being Daredevil. And they're not just there for display. Troy likes to wear these and go out and enjoy himself at the
A
weekends
lot.
as these characters. A lot. Troy, look, obviously we were pre-discussing this before we press record. This world you live in, you are a cosplayer. You are someone that loves going to a con, loves getting involved with the geek world. Where did it start for you? Why are you this way? Why are you so happy to be doing this, and why are you where you are now?
Always been into comics, movies, stuff like that. That comes from my mum's side, actually, rather than my dad. It's usually
Oh,
the dad, but it's my mum
yeah,
who's the geek. Mum was a massive Star Trek nerd.
good.
Adored, and we're going to get onto him, Christopher Reeve. So obviously that's where that came from. Um, I read comics as a kid, um, and then it took me quite a while to find that this was even a thing. Um, I've said it a few times on other things. Um, where I found it was I wanted a Lancer, a gun from Gears of War, and they cost a ton to get a replica.
Yeah.
So I was just literally on YouTube looking at reviews and stuff of them, thinking, "Oh, I wish I could have one of them," and then found a guy who'd built one out of foam. Um, so did that, and I jumped in a massive rabbit hole.
Oh, that was quite easy to get hold of.
Mm,
What's next? I know what you're saying. Like it's realistically, I mean, for the UK, cosplaying and the cons, it feels like it's only been about 10 years where they've really hit the mark over here. It probably is longer, and I remember
mm.
going to a very tiny small con in the UK in the mid 90s, but it's once we saw how popular they were over in America because of the internet and
Yeah,
more shows showing it and people get involved. I think it sparked a love. How old was you when you went to your first con experience then as a cosplayer? And who did
16.
you go as? 16.
16 was my first. 16 was my first con, and I went with my mum, and literally just wore a
Yeah,
Captain America
good.
t-shirt. Um, and saw people in the cosplays and was like, "This is amazing. There's people who like the stuff I like, and I'm gonna do this." Uh, I think it was the following year, so that was like the end of the year. I did my first cosplay, which was Star Lord. Literally cobbled it all together and everything.
Yeah.
And I think it was the next following year I really took the plunge and bought a full Captain America suit, like the proper thing. I saved up for the entire year, and obviously at that age, you're not getting much money. Um, So it was literally everything I'd got I poured into this one Captain America suit. So
So Captain America, obviously Star-Lord, obviously it started with Marvel. Um,
mm,
was was Marvel, you said obviously you were reading comics growing up. Was Marvel your thing growing up? Because obviously for me it was always DC. I love my Marvel. I'll
mm.
never put it down, but DC was the way I started. But so was it Marvel comics that got you into it?
It was three or four different heroes. So it was both. To be honest, it was both DC and Marvel for me. Um, these two, Superman, Daredevil, Batman, Spider Man, like everyone, um, Captain America, bits and bobs like that. These two, and then a surprising one for a kid when I was a young kid, Hellboy. Hellboy was a big one.
I suppose though. I mean, you're 10 years younger than me, so Hellboy was when I was about 18. So them films, the Ron Perlman
Golden
ones, would
films.
have been there when you were a kid. Yeah, of course. So
Yeah,
perfect
yeah,
time
yeah,
for you
yeah.
to get into Hellboy.
Yeah, you
Because
might
I mean, I
recognise a
didn't even know who
jacket.
Hellboy was. And Oh, yeah. I didn't even think,
Yeah,
didn't even put the two and two together.
yeah. I'm making a cosplay at the minute,
Like
which is
Hellboy
Hellboy.
come out
So
of, yeah. When are you planning on showcasing Hellboy?
probably next year. It's going to be a while. It's got loads of bits to
Yeah,
do it. I've got a friend doing all the sculpting of the arm and stuff like that. So there's loads of elements still to do on that. But yeah, the Perlman films were big for
nice.
me as a kid.
I see. Again, like I said, for my age, I don't remember Hellboy. I remember one of my friends had read some Hellboy comics, but when the films come out, they were such a big deal because, as we know, back then we weren't getting 15 superhero movies a year. We were getting sporadic ones, and it was
Mm.
generally products of stuff that it wasn't the Avengers back then. It was what we were until 2006. We had no Superman for nearly 15 to 20 years,
Yeah.
movie wise. So it was the X-Men and it was a Hellboy Blade and stuff like
Oh,
that. I want to go back to you saying about your mum got you into it because Star Trek was a big fat thing for me during the 90s. What was your mum's Star Trek? Which series? I'm assuming she's probably all into all of them, but what was the big one?
Shatner, the original, full original.
Okay, so original. No, she's come from the
Yeah,
original.
she was
Brilliant. Okay.
full original. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She used to love Spock and all that. So yeah, she was full original. She watched it with her dad. Um, so it's just transferred over and bits like that stuff. So
So you got into Star Trek yourself?
not massively, not so much as Star Trek. She more. I was the superheroes, uh,
Yeah.
mostly.
Right. Okay.
I watched bits when she'd put it on and bits like that and stuff. But it was mostly the superheroes that I just straight away was like, these are awesome.
But like you say, it's rare for it to be your mum. It's always the dad, isn't it? It's just a
Mm,
what's the word? The traditional way. It's the dad that gets the kid into things. Neither of my parents were geeky. I'm the only probably real massive geek in the family. So, and I came through the like a lot of the era of it's not cool to be a geek. It's
mm.
not. So I had a whole period of where I was like 10 and my friends were like, Ryan, why are you still into Power Rangers? You're 10, like it's football. You're a boy. It should be football. I had to go through that stuff. But then it was Smallville as similar to Luke. Smallville just
Love Smallville.
reignited that fire for me of like I remember being like 19 and was watching Smallville for the first time, and I was so into it and so finding my love for Superman. I was working in Oxford Street in London, so I went and bought my first Superman t-shirt. And like,
Nice.
you went to the con with your Captain America t-shirt. That feeling, I remember
Yeah.
walking down Oxford Street with the Superman t-shirt. No one cared what I was wearing, but I felt like everyone was looking because I had that t-shirt on. But I suppose that's kind of like yourself when you get into the cosplaying, and this is why I'm dying to talk to you because I've always wanted to cosplay. But one, I'm no good at making things, and two, the costumes I want are usually super expensive. Like you said, money is a big thing, especially these days. So,
Yeah.
would you get what if it's someone like me that's probably maybe too old to do it as much as you are, but wanted to do it? What advice would you give me? Where should I start?
I would say firstly, pick your character. Definitely just focusing on a character. Um, one that's not. I'd say the first one not too difficult. Like get yourself a
Hmm.
like a jumping on point. Um, as you say, like with cons becoming like more everywhere accessible and that. Same with costumes. So there are sites where you can just buy them now and wear them out of the box, literally straight away. Um, this Superman wasn't that expensive, to be honest. Um, I was gifted this by a company to wear it for them, but then I always have to do something to it. But you don't have
Yeah.
to. Like I say, change the logo, change the belt. It's all been tailored. The trunk's been changed. The cape's been changed. There's so much on that I've done. So it's no longer just the same suit. But I could have worn it straight away when it just came. So it's becoming a lot more accessible to do the character you want to do as well.
Yeah, and I've been looking. Are you allowed to? Obviously, you were gifted it. Are you allowed to say the name of the company?
Sim cosplay. Yeah. So
Sim
it's
Cosplay.
literally like
Because I've seen a
sim
couple.
how you spell it. The spell it like
So
sim.
I've seen a couple of sites. I can't remember one. I think one was called Pro Cosplay, and they had
Yeah, yeah,
what
yeah.
looks like a great looking Superman costume. But my head was like, I don't know enough to know like the reputation of this company. Am I?
Mm,
Because the price was like it was like £130 or something like that. And I was like, that
mm,
sounds. That's okay. I could do that, and it looks like the full costume. But it was like, do I know enough to take the risk on this? I mean, I could do some research, and the
yeah.
reviews were as good and
Yeah, they're
bad. They were,
reputable.
there was good to the bad. Yeah, okay, good.
They're
So now I've
reputable.
got
Yeah, yeah,
two.
yeah. Yeah, so there's I'm trying to think of the names of these. The three that I know is Pro, Sim, and I think there's one called Cos Dash UK. Um, they're the three that would if you. I sometimes even use them for just base suits. So I'm looking for just a black base suit at the minute. So I will look for a character that's black and it's a cheaper suit. So I'm going to get the stealth suit that Spider-Man wears in Far From Home, the White Hockey,
Nice, nice.
and just
Yeah, yeah.
take everything off it, but just use the base for something because I need a cheap base suit. Because
Awesome.
it's no, I've put it online and stuff. I'm building Snake Eyes from GI Joe. Um, so I need something to attach all the armor to and everything.
It seems like, I mean, obviously, you've always got ideas going. You've always got new suits. I mean, every time I see a post from you, it's a different costume you've done or a different shoot you've done or someone else. I'm like, man, this guy's got so many stuff, so much arsenal in his repertoire to just do. Like, obviously, please tell me sometimes you just sit there and no reason, just gonna probably play some Xbox and be Superman.
Could, but no. I have
No, you
actually.
don't. Oh, that'd be different.
I've, no, I've got Space Marine 2, and I think I'm about an hour into it, and I've not touched it again in about 3 weeks. I loved it.
Yeah, nice.
Just
Yeah,
haven't played the damn thing.
yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously, your passion is there to just not only get to dress up in these characters, but I feel like getting an impression from you that the building and making it your own is a big part
Mm,
of you getting yourself prepared for the event, for being the character.
mm. Yeah, I also like to do my own takes on stuff. So obviously these two are film ones and TV ones, but I will build my own versions of stuff. Like my batsuit here is literally my own custom batsuit that's just
Yeah.
random stuff put together.
So if for anybody that's obviously hasn't heard of you before, I'm assuming, especially people in the cosplay world, they will know your name. But if we go over to your Instagram, and I kept it up because I love like just looking at your pinned pictures tells enough stories to show what you've done uh, through your time that we could talk for hours on this. Like the first one, the sweet one, Avengers Campus, you and your partner,
Yeah.
and you being down on one knee. What a, if I did that to my other half, who's not into this world, she'd kill me. Like, what a moment! Like,
Yeah.
was that a big plan? Obviously a big plan, but like, how long have you been planning that? How long ago was that as well, by the way?
That was March this year. So
Hmm.
we met a few people from America who do cons and stuff. They came to the UK and they were like, "You've got to come over. You've got to come." So plan to go there. So my partner does Black Widow and stuff like that. Um, I met em through cosplaying. Um,
Nice.
so then it was like working it out. So I told them over there that this was the plan and everything. And I thought like we met through the Marvel bits. So Avengers Campus was probably the best option.
Like it's such to me that's the ideal proposal, that kind of thing in a place that you've always wanted to visit. I'm assuming, a place that you
Yeah.
you both love. Like I said, it's just I need to train the other half a bit more into be being into this stuff, so I can get my way. Whenever I mention us getting married, I say, look, I don't care how you plan the wedding. All you need to know is, in some way, because I've been planning this since I was 6, I'm flying down as Superman. Okay, that's how I'm living. I'm flying in.
Yeah.
That's all I've ever cared about. That's a bit. What when I get the answer no, I go, okay, then you're probably gonna have to understand. If it's not Superman, I'll go more subtle, and I'm gonna come as David Tennant's Doctor. So the TARDIS will be in the
Nice.
hall, the church, wherever we are. Bit more subtle. At least I'll be in a suit,
Yeah.
just in Converse. Again,
Nice
and
coat.
then go back to your go back to your Instagram, right? So you've got the very sweet post in your pin profile. Then the next one, which again I learned this incident, this situation happened via the podcast with you and Luke, but
Mm.
as a wrestling fan, as someone that did wrestling for 15 years, there is a picture of yourself dressed as Peacemaker with. Oh, I could make the joke that nobody is stood next to you because obviously it's John Cena,
Heard it a
but
lot.
it is John Cena, and
Mm.
yeah, yeah, of course. Who hasn't heard the
Yeah.
joke? But you're with John Cena, and not only did you have a picture with John Cena, I've seen a video of you on stage doing the Peacemaker dance with John Cena.
Yeah.
Dude,
That was
what?
stupid.
That-
Yeah.
wait, what does now Troy say to 10-year-old Troy when explaining that moment?
I don't really know how that would be explained.
Yeah, yeah.
Trying to
Was
explain
you a
like, oh,
wrestling
I did
fan?
a dance. Yes, I was a Cena fan. Yeah, I was a Cena fan. Always.
Yeah.
Uh, Cena, Mysterio. Yeah, that was my era sort of thing. Like, so yeah. But yeah, I was a massive
I
Cena
was
fan. Then
the
he was
attitudey one
Peacemaker.
just before.
Yeah, I was a little too young for that.
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
yeah.
But the thing with wrestling and like these actors, obviously, Dwayne, he was my guy, and now you've got Cena now into like everyone knows who John Cena is, everyone knows who The Rock is, and wrestling fans like us, it's like it's cool that when they
Mm.
still come back to wrestling, but when they become our superheroes as well, like you can dress up as him, and not only do you get to dress up with him, you get to dance with him. Let's talk about this. Where was you? How did that come about? And why are you so lucky to be that guy?
So this all started with there's a convention in the UK called Secret Con, and it's a cosplayers convention. So they pick a venue, and it can be like an old prison or a castle or something. So there's no stalls. It's photographers and cosplayers. Um, I had nothing to wear. I just watched Suicide Squad, and then the Peacemaker series came out, and I was like, right, okay, I'm gonna make a Peacemaker suit, and it was really simple. It was a bike shirt, a pair of white trousers, and a pair of boots. Done. Um, and then decided I was going to try and do the dance somehow. Managed to wrangle a few people in, but then made it into more of a showcase of everyone's cosplays as well. So they're all on my Instagram, all these dancers, because since then, every single Secret Con, I have done a new dance. So there's been a
Oh,
a,
yeah,
a theme. Peacemaker's been there. There's an overarching thing with Peacemaker trying to get in the dance thing, but you've had your time, so someone takes him out at the start or something. The last one was Deadpool. Um, but the
of
first
course.
one got shared by James Gunn on his Twitter.
Now, so it was before we pressed record that you mentioned your little love for James Gunn.
Hmm.
So again, one of those moments where, like you said, James Gunn, you is the person you want to meet. Out of all the people you could,
Yeah.
James Gunn is the one.
Hmm.
James Gunn shared that video. That means
Hmm.
James Gunn, as Roman Reigns would say, acknowledges you.
Yeah.
So, how's that moment feel for you?
I mean, going back to my first cosplay with Star Lord, James Gunn in a way got me into this in the first place. Um,
Yeah,
but to see him actually watch it and comment it and share it was ridiculous. Like, lost my mind. Um, and I think that was a bit of the thing of like, oh, let's carry this on, let's do more and more. I don't know if he's ever seen the others, but it's just become a running thing. Um, I then met, um, well, then no, then it was the Cena moment. I found out he was going to Wales Comic Con. Um, he never does UK cons, never.
No.
So the fact he was actually doing one was ridiculous. And everyone was tagging them, saying you've got to get this guy up there with him and stuff like that. We didn't hear anything. Turned up on the day. Um, went to get in line, thinking there's going to be so many peacemakers here, isn't there? It's just going to... And then wrestling fan after wrestling fan after wrestling fan, and I was the only peacemaker at the entire convention, the only one.
Nice.
So after about 100 wrestling fans, I walked in as peacemaker, and even the owner, because the owner was there because it's the biggest guy they've probably ever had. Says that guy's eyes just lit up when you walked in like that.
Because it's you just watched Suicide Squad, so this when it had just come out.
This was after Peacemaker, so Peacemaker had finished. So this was after Peacemaker.
Oh right, okay. Yeah.
So Peacemaker had happened. So obviously knew the dance and everything already.
Of course,
got the photos. I got a bit more time with him because the convention wanted photos of me as Peacemaker with him. So I got a little bit more time with him. Then obviously he did his panel. I went up to ask a question. First off, he said I'd outdone him on the costume because he'd come as himself, and then I'd outdone him coming the best costume that he could. And I wanted to ask him about how they even came up with the dance. Said I'd done it. James had shared it and stuff. And then I didn't even mean to say it. I just went, I'd love to do it with you, as a bit of like a joke sort of thing. Like, oh yeah, I'd love to do it with you. It'd be great fun. And he just went, come on then, let's go and do it.
You say you didn't mean to do it. No, that was that 10-year-old Troy inside you telling you.
But yeah.
Yeah, it was 10-year-old Troy saying, listen, this is your moment. I keep always use this as an opportunity. It's that Eminem thing, isn't it? If you've got one shot, one opportunity, you take it, right? I had my first con. I had not as big a moment because it's John Cena, but a similar situation. So it was for me. My first con was Power Rangers. I'm a massive. You can see myself. I've got some bits behind me, but Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So I'm from the original era of Power Rangers, and they had this MCM. It was MCM 2014. They had the original Red Ranger, Black Ranger, second Yellow Ranger, and the original Blue. So I was like to my friend, we're going to meet these guys. And they were doing a Q&A, and they were going around doing the questions, and I'd taken my morpher to be signed, and I'm like, I had it in my head of like, can I be very clever with this and get a moment for me over everyone else? Everyone else is going to enjoy it, but I'm going to cause this moment. I'm putting my hand up for the question, and my mate was next to me. He's going, whatever you do, don't be you. Don't embarrass me, because I know I can see the wheels turning in your head. So I put my hand up. They come to me, and I was like, "Hi, my name's Ryan. Massive fan. This is my first time ever getting to meet you guys. I don't know if this will ever happen again. Would you guys mind standing on stage and doing a bit of it's morphin time and calling your dinosaurs for us? Oh, and if you need a morpher, I have one with me." And Jason, the Red Ranger, was like, "Yeah, all right, let's do it." And I got him on he posted a video that night, and you can see it. You can see my friend behind me going like this, as if he's caused this, he's done this, and there's me like that 10-year-old Ryan standing there going, "It's morphin time" with the Power Rangers as he's holding my morpher, the original leader of the Power Rangers. Nice. He's calling my name. The fact that he then followed me on Twitter that night when I reshared the video, I literally was like, Do you know what, 10-year-old Ryan? This is the advice for you. Screw you.
Yeah.
I'm the cool one. I've got the moment you wanted. So, I mean, dude, I got him to say it's morphin time. You got John Cena to do a dance with you, his dance, and you had to reteach him the dance.
Yeah. It's literally admitted he'd forgotten it. I mean, I
So,
mean, there's no like if you watch the video and stuff, I'd miss a bit, but I'm like in my head, it's just going like, what the hell's going on right now?
is it one of them moments where you're you, but you're looking at you? You can see yourself. It's one of them spaced out moments, like
I
this is
can't remember
happening.
any of it.
Like,
I can't remember
yeah,
any of it. It's like a blur. It's like none of that happened. Like what?
yeah. So
Yeah.
you then look back and you just look at that. That's me, but you just don't. I suppose you can't believe it,
No,
can you? When you
no,
think I
no.
did that, and
Pretty much, yeah.
it doesn't even stop there because obviously when we started talking, I was lucky enough to see one of these moments happen myself in real time with your posts. The going back to the costume behind you, Mr. Charlie Cox. If anyone's listening doesn't know who Charlie Cox is, you're on the wrong podcast. To be fair, probably go check out Joe Rogan.
Hey, this guy's royalty.
Charlie Cox is Daredevil, and I'm still one of the ones new to finding out that he's British.
Yep.
Still new to that. I didn't. It was only recently that I saw it. It might have even been your post.
Can you hear him
I
talk?
see it, but
He's like, where's the New York accent? On the floor.
yeah. So you met Charlie Cox. You not only again did you meet Charlie Cox dressed as Daredevil. Do you know what? I don't know why I'm telling the story, Troy. Because I'm excited because I know what I've seen. Do you want to explain your day?
Yeah, so I mean, let's just go back. So I did Cap, didn't I? And then um decided I was gonna do Daredevil. So I've been doing Daredevil for 7 years now, like just different versions and stuff. Um, and I've never had the chance to meet him. Literally, I think he went to one in London, and I was ill. I just could not. I'd got tickets to go, and I couldn't even move. I was just incredibly. I think I'd caught COVID, to be honest, and I was just
I feel like I know the
shockingly
con.
bad. Yeah, it was
I
LFCC.
know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
yeah. So I'd literally got everything to go there. Fell ill, couldn't go at all. Was absolutely gutted. And then he never seemed to turn up again to anything. Um, and then we were I can't remember where we were going. We were in the back of the car, me and my partner somewhere, and it popped up that he was going to Edinburgh. So I just turned around and went, right, I'm going to Edinburgh. See you in a bit. um, but yeah, just decided that I wanted to, because this guy had done so much again for me, like, and he didn't know it, but in terms of cosplay and doing a character and stuff like that, I've idolized this character. I love this character. I wanted to give him something. So, kind of if we can get one out. These took ages to design. If I can get it. So I made my own billy clubs, but the difference is these are rubber. So they are stunt ones. Because I was breaking so many of these 3D ones,
Yeah.
I decided to figure out how to cast some. So these are literally, you can't break them at all. Um, so I decided to make him a pair. But then made a special box with it. Um, put an Avengers logo on as if it was like an archived item, and I made the archive number the first date of his first Daredevil episode. So it was the 15th of the 4th, 2015. Um,
Nice.
and then inside I'd made an entire Shield dossier on Matt Murdock as if they knew who this guy was all along. Um, I'd even gone so far as going onto a celebrity thing and finding Charlie's height and everything so that I could literally write Charlie's height and everything. Um, there was
The
a
attention to
Nelson
detail.
Murdoch
Wow.
card in there, a Jessica Jones. I put a Jessica's Alias Investigations card in there. I'd screwed that up because when you watch the series, she hands cards out, but not one of them are clean and new. She's just screwed them up in her pocket. Um, there was a poster of his dad's boxing match, and then obviously the club's inside. And I had to give him that.
Did with that sort of thing, did you have to get any kind of permission to be able to give gifts, or were they
No,
just
no,
okay
just
with it?
went up. Yeah, they went up. Um, I mean, to be fair, like they usually say, "Oh, one autograph per thing," and the person in front, like at the desk, is saying, "What do you want signed?" Everything. Charlie was just signing anything. He was so nice. He'd literally just like, "Do you want that signing? Do you want this as well?" Like everything. He was amazing. Everything I could have asked
Uh,
for, plus more.
and see, so you finally get to meet him. You not only do you hand him the gift, and obviously the time you had with him, I'm assuming you explained to him, obviously, why you've done this
Mm,
and what it is, and how was it reciprocated? How, obviously, like you say, he's a fantastic guy, and this is one of the best things about cons, isn't it? Is finding out your
mm,
heroes. There's a reason why they're heroes. Not, I mean, okay, there are some people can be difficult, but sometimes it's understandable. Sometimes they've been bombarded all day long and probably dealt with,
mm.
let's put it bluntly, dickheads. But at the
Yeah.
same time, this guy, your hero, you've given him the gift. How does Charlie feel about this? And how does that make you feel? Obviously, on how he responded.
I mean, I was chuffed to bits when because I didn't see some of his reactions. Obviously, like not I'm not looking at him every time and everything. When I see the video, I can see his reactions in that. And when he got hold of these and was like playing her, he was like, "How the hell's he done this?" Um, and then for him to say, I'm genuinely I'm blown away by this. I'm going to cherish these. Thank you so much." Um, and then I got to show him an array of photos that had done as the character over the years. Different. I
Yes.
chose a few, so I chose different ones with different people. So I'd chosen a few of me in different suits, one with me and my friend who does Fisk. Um, I managed at the start of the year somehow to get an entire Netflix photo shoot together. So we got all the Defenders, Elektra, Punisher, Fisk, get all that together, showed him that. Um, then my partner is Black Widow, because in the comics they at one point were a couple. Um, yeah, but it was just awesome to see that he has a love for the character as well as just playing it. He knows his stuff about the guy as well.
It's what we need, isn't it? Like it's good for people to be into characters, and we've had, there has been actors that have played some of the best superheroes in the best way that didn't come from being one of us, but fall in love with the character and do the character justice. But when you know that they are just like me and you, they love this stuff as much as you, it makes the experience of meeting them so much better.
Mm.
Again, for like that, but for me, going back to Power Rangers, and I got to meet. I don't know if what your history on Power Rangers is, but Jason
I
David
know
Frank was the
yeah,
original Green
Green
Ranger.
Ranger. Yeah, I know that one definitely.
Uh,
Christ.
yeah, yeah, he obviously he passed away a couple of years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but I was lucky enough to meet him in 2019, and I could sense there was clearly tiredness because he looked tired and it was stressful. And obviously,
Mm.
he had the biggest queue on the day. It was MCon. I don't know if you've ever been to an MCon in
Nottingham.
Nottingham.
That's not far from me.
Yes, yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, cool. Where are you?
I'm in a place near Worksop, Langold, so about 25 minutes from Sheffield.
Right, right. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Half of our team are not far from you.
All right.
Yeah, we've got Tony, who he's from London originally. He lives in Sheffield, and then Woody, who's
Yeah.
my nephew, he's our producer. He's in Rotherham, well, near Doncaster
Oh
now,
yeah, yeah,
actually.
yeah. That's not far at all. Yeah, it's not that. Yeah,
So
20 minutes down the road.
yeah, I didn't think because obviously because we've been talking a lot about London cons.
Mm.
the accent just didn't even come into come into my head for a second. Thinking about it, I suppose, yeah. So MCon, I met him there, but the experience of just being able to tell this guy. I mean, I had it with the four Power Rangers, but to be able to tell him, and I looked and I wish I'd done something like what you did, made him something to remember me by. But to me, it was just being able to get there and just say to him, like, I love you, like I have your coin on my hand, like, thank
Mm.
you. And then obviously for the tragedy that happened a couple of years later, it was like,
Yeah.
you feel guilty. It's like, I wish I'd said to you, are you okay? All I went on
Mm.
about was how much you meant to me. Like, are you okay? It's one of them. But to meet your hero, to meet Charlie Cox, Daredevil. I mean, it's a Daredevil. Obviously, he isn't the only person that's portrayed him on the screen. There is another person. Was you a Ben Affleck Daredevil fan?
Yeah. Yeah. Loved Affleck
Yeah,
as well, to
good.
be honest. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I'm still planning on doing that suit at
I
some
think
point. It's just that one's
I,
gonna cost quite a bit because it's so old and that no one makes it, so I'll have to get it custom done
yeah,
and everything. Everything will be after custom. So that's a down the line project. But no, I still I know it's cheesy, there's problems with it and everything. Um but no, I still
I think
watch that
the
film.
one thing that isn't a problem, the one thing isn't a problem was Ben Affleck as Daredevil.
No,
That
it
was
was all
one thing
right,
that was
yeah.
not a problem in that movie. The story could have been a lot stronger, yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't think I actually ever got round to watching Elektra in the end, but Daredevil the movie, I loved, I actually enjoyed it, and I thought it was at the time that was when we were getting superhero movies that weren't as action packed as Superman
Mm.
Returns. It it wasn't the big bad guy. It was still Lex Luthor. It was just that kind of story. I enjoyed that for what it was, and I was one of those. I'm sure you were probably when he got cast as Batman, and everyone's going, no, no, he was terrible as Daredevil. No, 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 no. Ben Affleck was amazing as Daredevil. I'm happy for him to be my next Batman. Thank you very much, and I'm glad I stuck by that because he was brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked him as Batman. Yeah, I think he wasn't given the right stuff for it. Same pretty much with Daredevil. He wasn't given the opportunities he needed with the character sort of thing.
But what he did, the stuff he was given, he knocked out the park,
Oh
100%.
yeah, the warehouse scene. The warehouse scene is insane. I know that's a lot to the
Oh,
stunt team and everything, but the warehouse scene is incredible. Except the fact he's killing them
and
all.
I actually, I know again, there's yeah, yeah, there's that one thing, but I wasn't sitting there when I was watching that film in the cinema. I wasn't sitting thinking, Batman's killing people. I'm not happy with this. I was like, holy shit, Batman's fucking them guys up.
Mm.
That's what I'm going through.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm like, whoa,
yeah.
because all I could think of, I don't know if you played the Arkham games. That's all I could
Oh
picture
yeah.
was like, I'm
The Arkham
seeing
games are
the
insane. I
combinations
played the
I've done
hell
and go,
out of them. Yeah,
I still do. I always go back to Arkham
yeah,
Knight. It's the reason I updated to the Xbox One. I was like, I'll stick
yeah,
with my 360 for now until a game comes out, and Arkham Knight was the one. I was like, right, cool, time to buy an Xbox One.
yeah. Oh, they're so good. All of them. Except Suicide Squad kills Justice League. Don't even go near it.
Yeah, yeah, I've played it. I actually kind of enjoyed it, but it was how quickly the story. I'd done the story in like 4 hours, and I was like, oh,
Yeah, and what they did with the story
I,
as well.
yeah, yeah. Annoyingly, I'm sure like me, I remember when Fandom, Lockdown's Fandom, that was one of the best things of Lockdown was Fandom, DC. So when they showed that first
Oh,
trailer of it, it was like, yes, and Gotham Knights as well. That looked great.
yeah.
That looked
Well,
amazing in the
the thing on
trailer.
fandom, obviously it was lockdown and everything. It was also my literally came out on my birthday night, and they showed the first Batman trailer for the Batman,
Yeah,
and I fell in love instantly. And for the next 3 hours till 3 in the morning, had built his bat suit.
from the
Yeah,
first trailer, you built that suit.
yeah, yeah. Literally, I was like, I literally just screen grabbed every single thing. I went back through fandom, screen grabbed it. I was like, well, I ain't got to get up in the morning. I'm not going anywhere, dumbass. So I'll build this.
So while there was about 60% of the Bat fandom questioning the look of the symbol with the guns style, Troy was out there going, "Mate, I'm getting that, mate."
Yeah,
Because
it's
that was
literally
when
amazing.
people was remember people were still like, I don't want Captain Sparkle Vampire being Batman. Sorry. Didn't we have this when people didn't want Heath Ledger, Mr. 10 Things I Hate
Mm,
About You? Didn't we have this when people didn't want Daredevil to be Batman? I'm sorry. You may not. I actually like the Twilight films. I'll admit it. I liked them. I liked him in it. I was never a Harry Potter fan, but I've seen other things with him where I've gone, he's a good actor, and
oh
I
yeah, he
was
is. Yeah.
questioning his frame for Batman, but when the film come out, any questions, any minor questions I had, eh, he's all right.
Yeah, I like him. I think he's great. Really do. Different take on it, but I think he's
That
fantastic.
mate,
Can't knock him.
the way they opened it, the way they brought him into it. Again, if anybody watched that first 10 minutes and thought this isn't my Batman, you're not a Batman fan. I'm sorry. That
A
scene where he
monster.
comes out the darkness.
Yeah, I just every little
We're
bit.
talking
Like
a lot
he's got
about
spurs. He's got spur sounds, and there's no spurs on his boot, but it sounded great. And it's just
yeah,
bang. Every
just it was
footstep is just an
creepy.
earthquake.
It was. I mean, even Keaton, there was the sense of fear of the bat. But if anything, if there was any Batman that has shown that people of Gotham, or the villains of Gotham especially, should be scared of him, that was the opening sequence of Batman to
Mm,
make people scared of who that man is and what he could do if you're someone he doesn't like.
mm, definitely. Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of Batman talk going on here, and obviously there is a costume
You want to see my
behind you
suit?
that I've been. Oh, do I
You
want to
want to see
see
my
your
bat suit?
suit? I want to touch your suit, Troy. I'd love to
Hang on.
cuddle your suit.
It's slightly based on a bit of Arkham and Pattinson. So yeah, this is all just a custom design that I just cobbled together on a piece of paper and then just made it. So
Oh, mate.
that's my bat suit.
If 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 I've ever had any questions about cosplaying or whether I'm gonna eventually get into it, these are being answered right now. But this oh before sorry, do you know what we haven't brought up because you did purposely go and get it. Going back to Charlie Cox, you got something
Oh, the
signed
helmet.
on the day, didn't you?
I got
Yeah.
my original Netflix helmet. Yeah. So I this is the Born Again suit. I have got the Netflix
Mhm.
suit, but I'm the sort that's like, right, that's probably not coming back now. So I don't know if I'll wear it again. So I was just like, I've got to get my main helmet style. This has been everywhere. It's been not there's chips on it all over. I've been thrown into bins with this thing on. Everything, stuff like that. I've got the
As you do.
photo as well. I don't know if you can see it much with the glaring, but
Ah,
yeah. So, and then he offered to sign my other helmet, but I didn't want that one because that's literally it's here. That's my main one. So he said, "Oh, well, pick a picture and I'll sign another thing for you." So, literally, yeah, well done.
so we can safely say that moment it can go on Troy's moments of life that you can look back on and go, hang on, just checking. Is that me?
Yeah,
Did I do that? Along with
definitely.
John Cena. Um, then do you know what? I completely forgot the third picture on your pin profile picture. I've already nicknamed this picture the picture that I'm going to aim to be, and that is you looking like Hugh Jackman at the end of Deadpool and Wolverine, ripped to shreds.
I'll get it up. I'll
Um,
have to show it on the photo here now then, because I am proud of
you've got
it.
you're gonna go on show off. Show us your picture. That that is that is what when I actually tried being a wrestler for 15 years. That's what I thought I looked like in my head, when realistically I was just a stick thing person that was never going to be told he looked like a wrestler. That's you ripped. That is, like I said, that is just that they might as well have used that picture for the promo of Deadpool Wolverine. You look exactly like he does at that end moment. Why is that pinned? Why is that there? Is that to for you to go, I need to keep looking like this? Is that because you got in shape for Wolverine? Because obviously I've seen the Project X pictures.
Yeah, so I mean, it's there because I was proud of it, really. Um, I've
Yeah,
actually done that. I've done that 3 times now. The shoots like that. I don't always look like that. That is unsustainable is probably the word. So the minute I'm bulking up, I'm trying to put weight on. Um, it's funny because I literally always wear oversized t-shirts. This is literally like an XL. Just like I don't actually wear like much tight stuff. But
it's part of the
I've
disguise, so people are shocked when they see a little bit of your shirt lift up.
um but yeah, like I wasn't happy with how I looked. I've trained for a long time. I do CrossFit and stuff like Olympic lifting and bits like that. But I wasn't happy with how I looked. So the first time I did it, more than like a transformation, it was like a recomposition, you could call it. Like I was trying to change the shape of me. Um, I think that one was that my third? That was my third one. So that was last December. That one, and I did a Spartan as well at the same time. Um, but yeah, I've got another one planned. I start in what date is it now? Start in about a month or two's time. I start a 12-week cut again, ready for something else planned. So actually,
Is
you
that
say about Weapon
top?
X. It is
Yeah,
actually, yeah, it's a planned shoot, but I can't
I called it
actually.
Project
The
X, didn't I? Why did I?
Weapon X, but no, it's fine. Like, the thing is, I'm a bit of a stickler. The Weapon X, I wasn't at my best at that, so I want to redo it. I wasn't happy with the Weapon X. I was happy with them. I looked good. The location was fantastic, but I know I can look better for that.
Well, yeah, obviously,
Well,
I can see
yeah,
it.
because I wasn't.
Um,
I think I was about a month or two out from a shoot, so I'd done the shoot, come off it, and started enjoying myself a little bit more. Still training. I train every single day. Um, but I was trying to then start building up again, but then I was asked, "Do you want to do this at the location?" I was like, "Oh, I'm not at my best, but the location is perfect, so yeah, I've got to do it." Haven't
I mean, listen, it, I'm going to probably use that as a reference because I have not been in shape since the last time I wrestled, to be honest, which was 6 years ago. So, and even then, I wasn't in shape. So, I'm now going to use that as a reference because when I was obviously earlier, I was like, make sure I just go through, just make anything, before you chat to Troy later on, have a look and figure stuff to picture out. And like I said, I use your free pin for. I was like, these are talking points or one of them. And I was like, and that one is going to be the one I'm going to use to remind me that, yeah, I need to look like that again. Well, not again, for the first time in my life. Um, so that obviously with that picture, with you being in that kind of shape and obviously being someone that looks after yourself and keeps yourself in shape, these costumes obviously look quite good on you. And we're gonna go down the Superman route now, and I've kind of held this back because, like I said just now, that costume has been staring at me in the face, and I've loved talking to you, Joy, but she's been winking at me, saying, talk about me, please," because
I? Taught me a little bit.
I am a bit of a Superman.
There we
Oh,
go.
like again, there was controversy when that suit was revealed. There was no controversy from me because
No one,
I'm a
mate.
Superman
To be
fan,
honest,
and that costume, that symbol, those colours, that cape, that yellow S on the back, the belt. Oh God, mate, it's beautiful. And ha- this is obviously we're recording this. This will come out after the weekend, probably in
mm.
a couple of weeks. So you've got that, and you've got MCM coming up this weekend.
Yeah,
and I'm
first time
assuming
wearing it.
that's where the plan is. Yeah, first time
Yeah.
wearing it, and I cannot wait to see it, dude. It is so cool. Superman. Where does where does your love for Superman start? Obviously, we touched on that we were going to come back to Christopher Reeves. I feel like this is the moment we're
Yeah.
coming back to Christopher Reeve. Yeah, obviously that started with your mum, by the sounds of it.
Yeah. I mean, so the first film I saw was Brandon Routh, 2006. Um,
Yeah.
just an age thing that I was 10. So I knew Superman. I was like doing the comics and stuff, but at 10 I was like I got taken to see Superman and I was enjoying the film, but then that plane scene happens. And that plane scene,
Oh,
the film in hindsight now, I look at it and I'm like, yeah, there's problems with it. There's not some great bits. That plane scene is just
it's
incredible.
something else.
It's awesome. And then obviously went back, watched Christopher Reeve, and I knew of Christopher Reeve. I'd seen bits of Christopher Reeve and stuff like that, and just fell in love with it. It didn't matter that it was an aged film at all to me at that time. He was just unreal. I loved him. Um,
It's the way he
he is the
embodies
goat.
both parts of the character.
Yeah,
Like, if any person comes into that role of Clark Kent or Superman and doesn't use that man as a reference, I mean, yes, you can use Henry. There are reasons you can use Henry. There's reasons you can do Brown and Ralph, Tom Welling, even Dean Kane, who is forgotten about sometimes. But
I've got to
he is,
say as
if
well,
you are not taking one,
Tyler Hecklin.
God.
Tyler
Oh, oh,
Hecklin
oh, why did I forget him?
has
I'm
been
literally watching Superman and
fantastic,
Lois. He,
fantastic. And I'm going to say something slightly controversial. I don't know if it will be. Have you seen the newest series, the newest ones, the season, newest
no,
season?
so I am one of the thing with Superman and Lois. I know
Oh,
some of the bits that are happening. But
right.
I'm currently at the end of season two. I'm
Well, I
literally
can't
watching it
say
at the
that.
moment.
I can't say that.
Oh,
They do something in season 4 better than what the films did, and it will be
I
obvious what
know.
it is.
Okay, so I know what it is because this is why I've now restarted watching it because I've seen the clips of. Obviously, I saw the Doomsday clips. Um,
Yeah.
so are we talking about something that Doomsday might do?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, something. Yeah, something that is my favorite comic of all time is the death of Superman. Spoilers for
They've done it
anybody
better
that
than the films.
isn't up to date with Super.
They
Yeah.
they have done it better
Um,
than the films, in my
this is the
opinion.
reason why I'm watching it because I read an article where people were like, the way they've done this, and it's just because one of them shows that I keep saying I'm gonna catch up with, but it's now on season 4. I'm like, shit, I'm 2 seasons behind. I really need to catch up
Yeah.
with this. I'm a Superman fan.
The I can never remember her name. The woman who plays Lois, I
Oh my
think
god,
those two together have had the best connection since Christopher Reeves one as Lois and Clark.
and Margot Kidder, yeah,
They
it's gonna buck me her name
are
now.
they are just fantastic as them two characters. He is highly underrated as a Superman, highly underrated because he is fantastic.
I did you ever watch Teen Wolf with him in?
No, I knew he was from it, but I've never watched it.
That's where I know him from.
Mm,
I loved the original Teen Wolf movies, the 80s movies, 1 and 2.
mm,
So when that series come out and it was Teen Wolf, but it was like Teen Wolf was a slapstick sort of comedy kind of thing. It was all funny. When this dark series come out, he was my favourite character in it. His character Derek was the best. I mean, they were all phenomenal, but he was the best part. So when he got announced, and people were like, "Who's this guy?" I was like, "Listen, we're gonna like him." And yes, I
mm,
was like, "Is he a bit too? Is his frame a bit too slim?" But that first, I mean, obviously him in Supergirl, Crisis, and all of that was brilliant. But when they finally greenlit the series, and the first time you see him in the suit and what suit it is, I was like, mate, yeah, He is
Yeah,
Superman.
that
He's
is
so good.
fantastic. Yeah,
He,
I
he,
mean,
what's the scene where he reveal? I'm on Bizarro, so he's just
hmm
I'm past it, but he's just revealed to Lana that he's Superman.
yeah,
The way he does it, the way it's adapted, it's such a I love the serious tone over this. I was telling my stepson, I was like, why have we not got watched this more? I was like, I love the Arrowverse, but this has got, even though it's attached to the Arrowverse, this is a more serious tone. It's got the. I was like, I love this. This is so
mm,
good.
yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, I've loved every iteration of Superman. I have
Mm.
problems with some of them. I Man of Steel. I love. I enjoy it. There is problems with it again. There's problems with it. Um, but I just love the character. Um, took me a long time to get to cosplay him. Um,
Why is that?
because I just wanted to feel as though I fit it. Um, part of the reason of the training was that I wanted to wear Superman at some point, and at the point I was at when I first started, I was like, I don't feel confident enough to wear this suit. Um, and I've had a couple of people tell me with this and that that I've just suddenly become a Superman fan. No, I've always been one. I just wasn't ready to cosplay him. I did, and you can see in my on my page, I did Shazam, and I enjoyed
Yeah,
Shazam. But Shazam was also slightly a tester to see how I felt about doing Superman. It was
I
like,
love it.
right,
That's
okay,
that's passion.
this I'll do Shazam because it'll be fun. I'll enjoy it. It'll be great to wear and stuff like that. It's a project. This guy's slightly less than Superman. Let's see how this goes down. Let me see how I feel wearing this and everything, and then we can do the big guy if I want to. Um, so I got the suit made by my friend, a few people, because I wanted to do my own custom version just to start with. Um, then we were going to America. I thought, what a fantastic place to start this in LA. I can wear Superman. And then obviously now this guy again. I've been training to do this. I've put almost. I'm not cut at the minute, but I've put almost 20 kilos on um, to do this sort of thing. So yeah,
I I love that you've got this. Like you don't you want to do him justice. Because like you say
oh,
I love the way you put it. The big guy, Superman. You know, whether you're a Marvel or DC fan, I can argue he's the first superhero, and people like us that know that and live and breathe that he is Superman, the big guy, that you've done it right. You want to do him justice. This is like for me, wanting to do cosplaying. The first one I think of is the Green Ranger. That is the first one because one of the reasons there's a hat on because my hairline isn't like it used to be, and that's why Superman isn't the first one I go to is because I would be upset that I didn't have the right hair, and this is a confidence thing anyway because
mm,
anyway, so that's one of the things that holds me back. The first thing is the hair because I'm like, oh, you know, I want to look like Superman. I want to have the Jerry curl. I want to have the jet black hair. I want to look like him. So if I haven't got the right hairline, I'd probably get away with Lex Luthor more than that. And then the next thing is again confidence thing is the beard. I mean, yes, there are
mm,
iterations of Superman where he had a beard that I could do, but the if I want to be Superman, I want to be clean shaven. I hate the way I look without a beard. It's been a long time since this face has been completely clean shaven. So like that's so for you to be like, I'm not doing this until I'm ready. You've done Superman, and it's annoying. I was looking. Oh, I have to go to my phone. I actually have a question for you about Superman from a fan. Let's call him a fan of the podcast. His name is Luke Bug, the Geek of Steel.
okay.
Where I've said when we were talking yesterday, preparing for to chat with them last night, I obviously mentioned to him about. I did a courtesy thing a couple of weeks ago when we first started talking, obviously about, I'd love to have you on ours because it was we spoke because you'd seen that I'd listened to your episode on his podcast. So I did a courtesy. I hope you know I'm talking to Troy. He's going to bring him on the pod out of courtesy, just letting you know. So I don't want you to step on your toes, sort of thing. So he said to me that I'll have a question for you to put to him from myself. So Luke Bug, who asks, when you first saw yourself in the new Superman suit, that one is behind you, how did you feel? And how did that compare to when you wore the Reef suit for the first time?
So I haven't fully done the Reef suit, so we'll get to that in a minute because that is comic. That is the plan. When I
Okay.
first put that on, I knew there was stuff I wanted to do with it, but straight away you do feel powerful. You do.
Yes.
The
Oh,
cape and everything. Now, when I was wearing the other suit and stuff, again, there's still stuff we need to do to it. We made it very quick and it was like incredibly well made. Everything is screen printed. There's lines and everything on it. And we went out and everything and went straight to the fountain area, which is in front of the Anaheim Convention Center. And I stood on there because there was a guy who was like, "Oh, can I get some photos?" And the cape just went. I just literally the wind just took it, and I couldn't. I was shocked. There was about 5 or 6 togs just ran in, just photographing. I haven't seen all the photos. I haven't seen them all. Don't know where they were. Don't know where the togs were. They were literally just taking photos. But the cape just took off, and it felt so good, so good. I think I'll feel the same when I wear that at the weekend. I can't wait to wear it. I never get a full feel for it, weirdly, until my hair's black. It
yeah.
just doesn't look
It's the
right
character. It's
when I put it
getting
on.
into the character.
Yeah, when I put it on, like now, I had this on about half an hour before we came on because I was doing the belt and looked at myself in the mirror, thought, oh yeah, it looks great and everything, but it never looks right until the hair's black. So the reef suit is my dream suit of anything. It's not the biggest thing. People's dreams cosplays are usually like massive, huge things. I mean, one of them is Hellboy, which is taking a long time to do, but it's a simple suit. But I think I'll have the same reaction as to when I saw it in LA. When I saw it in LA, I stood in front of the cabinet and just cried. Literally just
Yeah,
stood
nice. Well, not
and
nice that you
cried.
cried, but nice that the emotion got to
Yeah,
you.
I was just like, because there was all the Snyder stuff there, and I was like, I think the Snyder suits are detailed to hell. They look incredible, and that. I'm not mad on the later Superman ones. They went too silver, but that's for another story. Like all that, I just think the Man of Steel one was the best one they did of that. And my friend Tess was there, like, you've got to come around the corner, like now. And I was like, I'm taking photos of all this. I've got to get the details and stuff on this Shazam suit because I want to add bits to mine. She was like, no, you got to come around the corner now. Walk around the corner, and I don't know why it's there, but it's not in the main area. It's tucked away next to the what do you call it, like desk with there's someone to help. I can't think of the word, but there's someone there to ask questions to, and it's
Customer
literally sat
services,
customer services. It's sat next to the customer
like that.
services. I mean, there's a DC mural behind it, but there's the Keaton, there's Linda Carter. It is right, Linda Carter, isn't it? I flipping get mixed up
Yeah.
with Linda Carter and the Reef suit. And I literally just walked straight from the Reef suit, like there, and just cried. Just stood there looking at this thing. And I think if I get to wear the full thing, like the full Reeves thing, it will be the same sort of reaction.
Yeah.
Speaking like on Luke, speaking of Luke, I've actually taken a bit of his advice and I've spoken to him about this because he said in his Christopher Reeves podcast the other day about the movie and everything, which if no one's listened to and they listen to this, go listen to Luke's podcast about that because he did one of the most touching things I've ever heard.
This is
It's
this is
incredible.
one of the reasons we talked last night. I I listened to it on the way to work the other day, and I said to him, "Thank you." I was going from a radio show to do a karaoke night, and I was I was like welled up driving to
I sent him a
work.
video. I sent him a video when I'd done of like me just crying and saying, I'll not say what I said and everything because that's between me and him and everything. But if
That's
no one's
private.
listened to it, please,
Hmm.
please go and listen to Luke's latest episode.
Yeah,
Um, he said to write thank you messages and everything, thank you letters and stuff like that. So I've decided, and he's going to have a copy, and Paul is going to have a copy. I'm going to write James Gunn a letter. Because I feel as though them two at some point will meet that man. I feel as though that because they've done so much with DC and stuff, at some point they're going to meet him. I can't guarantee that I ever will. I don't know. I would love to. It's my dream. One of my dreams is to meet him because he got me into this unbeknownstly with Star-Lord and everything. I'm going to write him a letter and give them a copy, thanking him. But I think the same thing would be for me if I ever met James Gunn. I'd have to try and not sob too much.
but the thing is, like, I think the man that he is would not like would appreciate it, but like it would not like be like, oh my god, get this man away from me, like, and
Mm,
understand. Like, I, I mean, you said you're going to write a letter to give to Luke, to give the same one to Paul. I
mm.
personally think, like, with the work you put in and etiquette, make sure you've always got a copy on you,
Oh yeah,
because
I
I think
will.
you, but no, but this, I generally believe it. You're working your backside off, and you've already been noticed. That is step what that is that's step 15, if anything. That's
Mm,
not just like it's all good getting a like off of somebody. You've been noticed with by him, and he's obviously watched you do your thing. He knows you're out there, so. He's the sort of person, he loves this world, and obviously now he's in
mm,
control of my favorite universe of them all. Like, this man, he loves us. Obviously, if what we're seeing is going to be, and touch wood, I mean, I have no doubt that we're not going to get a DC universe that we want to see, and surprises that we didn't know we want to see. I believe this man loves us because and wants to be is one of us. Is the biggest one of us, if anything.
yeah.
So I believe it will happen for you, and like the whole process of getting into characters that you do this, you take this seriously, and it made me think. I was like, even though I don't cosplay as such, I always do the Joker for Halloween. For if I've
Mm,
got another reason to do it, I will do the Joker. I'm prepared, and I'll generally, since 2019, it's mainly been Joaquin, because I love doing the makeup. But to me, when you were talking about being in the right shape, having the hair done, I always think to myself, when I do the Joker, when I do the makeup, when I'm it, I generally, I usually always make a video of something, or do something of the process, because the process
mm,
of doing the makeup isn't just sitting there doing the makeup. I'll start laughing to myself. I'll grin at myself. I find that I'm putting this on. I'm gonna be the Joker. Like, as soon as this makeup's done, I am him. So I need to be in character. So it's a process, and it's all part of the fun and
mm.
love and reason why we do these things. Because I mean, I'm very one of these that I was bullied when I was younger for for not being into football, like I said, and stuff like that. And but I always think I don't understand that when people bully you for being into something. For example, those that are into football, because they don't realise they're as geeky as we are for something else. Everybody's a geek for something, whether it's sports, whether it's superheroes. Everyone's a geek, and if you're passionate about it and you get to play these fantasies out in any way, you get to go and play a game of football, you get to dress up as Superman, Batman, Daredevil, anyone, the Joker. Man, there's no feeling like it.
Right, love it. Um,
I'm getting it.
I
Hashtag
love
yay for
to.
emotions. Back to Luke.
Yeah, definitely. Like honestly, that guy. Uh, he he said about. I'll say like. I hope I've made my dad proud on that podcast. He has. The stuff
Oh,
he's done. Honestly, I like that's one of the things I said to him. I was like, mate, he is. He's proud of you because you've done awesome. Um, but yeah, I'm taking his advice. I'm going to write a letter in to him, and if I do get to meet him, I'll still give it to him because it'll explain all the bits and bobs and everything, and stuff. Because yeah, I mean, when I first started, unbeknownst to me, I picked a character because he designed this character that I could do, Star Lord, and then it's like been step by step by step. This guy has somehow influenced everything I've done with cosplay, pretty much. I did Star Lord, I then did Peacemaker, I did a dance. He's now doing one of my favorites. He's just influencing things. So yeah, need to thank him somehow.
it's but you again, you already are because you're. I mean, literally, look behind you. You're honoring him in a way that the suit that he has chosen. That some people out there that again that don't get it. You're wearing the suit that he's chosen for the next movie because you want to do him justice. You want to show off that you love it, that you're proud to do it.
Mm. Yeah, I mean,
So
I don't know how you can be upset. He's literally doing it at the minute, Justice League Unlimited. It's
sorry, what?
yeah, we're literally getting the cast pretty much of Justice League Unlimited at the minute. We've got Hawk Girl in there. We've got John Stewart Green Lantern. We've got this guy. He's inevitably going to do the Flash, and in my opinion, he'll pick Wally West. I don't think
I
he's going to do
fingers
Barry.
crossed. We need a. It's time. It's
I think it
time.
is. I think he will because we've had a TV version of Barry. We've had a movie version, which we're not going into that.
Yeah,
We need
I
Wally
love Michael
West.
Keaton in that movie.
Yeah, Michael was great. It was the other guy. Um, he's literally doing Justice League Unlimited at the minute, and I love how he's so open about everything that he's doing online. Like, I
Yes,
don't know if you saw his comments on the Batman thing the other day. Someone had made something up like James Gunn's casting a middle-aged Batman, same to the Snyderverse and all this, and he literally just commented bullshit.
he says it as it is, and that's what we
It's
need.
literally he's always so open about it. And I've seen people complaining online because they did a massive reveal for Batman v Superman and everything and all this, and it was huge. And the Lawrence Fishburne was there talking about it and everything. And then at this New York Comic Con, it's been James Gunn sat on a stage going, "Yeah, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this." I couldn't give a crap if that's the way he's decided to do it, as long as he does it right. Which, from everything we're hearing, he's a DC fan.
Uh, uh, for someone like this, obviously, yes, Marvel has Kevin Feige, and yes, I mean, all right, the last couple of years have been up and down until Deadpool Wolverine, but someone that is a fan of this. James Gunn is obviously a superhero fan because again, when people were saying, "Oh my God, I don't know if James Gunn with the Henry Cavill, I love Henry Cavill, so the Henry Cavill crybabies." Look, I understood his choice. What he's saying is that he wants a Superman. He likes Henry Cavill, but he wants a
Yeah,
Superman that can still be Superman in 10 to
I mean,
15 years. That's what we
have you
need.
read have you read the articles that he didn't ever fire Henry? He didn't ever do it. That the
Yeah,
plan was
I'm hard to believe it because it's basically The Rock's fault. And I'm a Dwayne
no.
guy.
Well, the other thing was that James he was doing a Superman movie, and it was originally going to be like Matt Reeves. It was going to be a
Mm,
separate thing entirely. And then they asked him, so he was already planning this thing before they'd even done it. And then obviously the Black
yeah.
Adam thing. And I mean, I'm the same as you. I like The Rock. Don't agree with everything he does, but I like the guy. Um, but
But
I'm
even
just,
then, I
yeah,
think he would, they were trying to make the right decision because they were trying to listen to us. That did, yes, of course, I wanted to see more Henry. I think the frame of that guy, that his Superman, and yes, Zack Snyder made some choice, but the DCEU, I know there's Snyder fans out there who will never agree to that. It got messed up. Too much interference. It was never going to be salvageable. It it was
No.
too messed up. That-
And it
It
was
would have been
losing
all right
money.
if it stopped.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
it was
and
losing
I
money. So
generally, his Justice League, unbelievable. I love that film. Maybe not the Barry doing the slow motion thing and the sausage thing, which, funny enough, both Flash moments. The whole hot dog thing and Barry running and it's for you, Dad. That is the weirdest moment of any superhero film I've ever seen. But other than that, the film is phenomenal. But for James Gunn, go back to James Gunn to come in now, and he's doing it right. He's doing again. We know he's a fan. He's the right guy to be in charge because he's never made a superhero thing that I don't like, so I'm okay with him. And yes, I'm upset about Henry not being Superman, but I'm also a more of a Superman fan than I'm a Henry Cavill fan. So I love what he did. I appreciate that we're not going to get him again, and I'm going to miss him, but I'm happy to get a Superman that I'm going to see for the next 10 to 15 years in a universe, not just to bring back Henry Cavill to have one more Henry Cavill movie and be done. I want a Superman I can watch for the next 15 years.
mm,
I, I'm not only going to get Superman, I'm getting his dog in the first fucking movie.
it's my background. It's my background on my laptop. Yeah,
Mate, that picture is again the pictures we've been shown. The one
that's
where he's
going
doing
up
his boots
behind
up, where
that.
we got the
I'm
Scots.
getting that. Yeah, I'm getting that blown up and put in behind that because I was been looking for a photo because like there's a Daredevil one down here to go behind this. I needed one. James Gunn just released it and it's going behind it. Finally, I'm like, yeah,
Mate,
there it is. Got it.
but that's what we're saying. I mean, if if anyone looks at this, what the Superman if we're wrong, we're not as good a Superman fan as we are. The Superman that it looks like we're getting is the Superman, the Henry Cavill Superman that will take on Darkseid. But we're also getting the Superman, as we keep people keep saying, that will rescue a cat out of a tree. We're getting the Superman that is Superman that I love through the comics. I love every
Mm,
version that we've been, but we're getting a Superman that can do it all, I believe.
yeah. And I think it's slightly telling that the first thing they released under the DC Studios banner is the Christopher Reeve documentary.
Oh, mate,
Because that's the
I,
first DC
I was,
Studios project. Like I know
it's
James Gunn
like a
directed it, but
passing of the
he
torch.
picked to put it there. Yeah, he picked to put it there
Yeah.
as the first DC Studios project. So I
What
think it's
what
telling.
what does that say about James Gunn?
Mm.
That he loves this as much as we do. That's all we need. That's all we need, Christopher. And you've not seen it yet, have you? Obviously, I know the guys see it. Luke and Paul see it last week, but I take it
Now
you've
I've
not got
seen
to
it
see it yet.
next Monday. I get to see it. I get to see it on 28th next Monday.
Cineworld.
Yeah, Sheffield. Yeah.
Yeah, the Cineworld's near me. Paul told me last night, oh, Cineworld in Basildon. I'm from where Paul's from, but I now live on the south coast near Brighton.
Mm.
So
Yeah, they're doing
I was like, oh,
unlimited
Basildon's
screenings.
doing it, but I was like, it's Monday. The problem I've got, and I've already tried to ask him, my other half, Monday is me and the kids. This is why I couldn't do till 9 today. She doesn't finish work until
Right.
8. Let me guess, your screening starts at 7:30, like they all do?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm taking my mum.
7:30. Oh,
Yeah, I'm taking my
mate.
mum with me.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Just you and your mum, or is your partner going as well?
But no, so travesty. M's not seen any of the Reeves stuff yet. M's not watched much DC stuff yet at all. So we're getting to it. We are getting to it. She's done the Supergirl suit now, so we're going to get to the Reeves stuff. But I've got 4 tickets. So first was my mum, and then one of the guys from the gym is also a big Christopher Reeve fan. So he's come in and his partner's come in because they love him. So M will probably watch it once she's actually seen that because she's not massively into DC stuff. She started with Marvel with the Avengers stuff, so she's
Yeah,
more
yeah.
recent. so she hasn't really got into it. I actually think this has come at a good time because it's a good jumping on point as well now for someone who's doesn't really know much of the DC stuff or anything like that. We're starting again, so she can jump on and see what she thinks.
Okay, so dude, you know you've got to do. You've got to document her watching them. This is
Yeah,
content for you. You've got to document her. Yeah, get it to put her through the experience, see it through her eyes for the first time. You've got to do that because I want to see it.
mm.
If not, I'll come round your house and watch it with her, with you all. I'll bring the popcorn because you know you know the feeling she's going to go for. I mean, hopefully, touch wood, she
Yeah,
doesn't get to the end of it and go, "Oh, that's don't know what all the hype is about." But
yeah.
yeah, so yeah, so you go with your mum again. It's not superhero related, but I when you know the Elvis movie that come out last year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Even though me and my mum isn't a geek for superhero things. Me and my mum are geeks for Elvis, so we went to that. There was no other option. I was going with my mum to experience that because it's something it's your mum, and you share
She
that love together.
she comes with us to everything, genuinely. So there's a group of lads that come from the gym with me. So there's two, no, there's three lads. Sometimes the partners come. Sometimes it'll literally be me, the three lads, my mum. My mum comes with us. Honestly, we went to see Hellboy the other week. My mum came with us. She just
As
comes
your
to them
mum,
all.
have you got your mum in cosplay yet?
No, no. She said if she was younger, she would have done it. She would have been all over this, um, doing it. Um, but she loves seeing the stuff we get up to and stuff like that. Um, like the events I've been to and that. She absolutely adores it. She was like, I saw you on ITV the other week at Deadpool and Wolverine. Stuff like that. So, but she loves coming to the cinema with
Again,
us and everything. She comes to everything.
so that's what I mean. Like again, to have that with your mum is very lucky. Like you said, like we said, started this by saying
Mm,
you come from your mum. It's very lucky to have it with your mum, and the fact that again you're never. It's always everyone's always looking for their parents' approval. Like you know, most kids have, especially of the UK, grew up on in like a. I always go by the Cockney sort of thing. Like you come walking in the Superman costume, take that stupid thing off. You walk in the Superman costume, I'm like. So proud of you. I'm so happy with the way you were brought up. I've just realised, Troy, because this is what happens all the time with this pod. Like, hopefully you felt the same. When we start shooting it, time gets away from us. I remember you said you have got to be up
I
for
don't
work, and
mind.
we are at an hour and 22 minutes. It's your call whether there's anything else you would love to talk about, would love to bring up, or
I'm
we can
easy. If there's
say
anything you want to ask, go for it. Honestly, I don't mind. Honestly, I'll keep going if you want
there's,
to. If there's
there's
anything you want to ask,
the question is like, listen, if you like, it was going to be a question whether you like it or not. We're now dudes, we're now buddies, right? So I'm going to see you at events. I'm looking forward to it. I've also been thinking about this all the way through. Like, I'm pretty sure because I mean I haven't done tons of cons over my time, but I've done a few. I reckon because I had this with Paul when we first met, and it turns out Luke as well. We were together at a Comic Con and they remembered something, a moment that I had with Tom Welling from Smallville. They were there for this moment, so I guarantee that me and you have probably crossed paths at a con without
mm,
realizing. Like I said, my first one was MCM 2014, and what was I think I did 2016 MCM. It was at least 2016 or 17. Then it was LFCC 2018 with Jason Momoa was the big name that year. I don't know but I just sort of think I guarantee you because I've got so many pictures of different cosplays. I've probably got you on a picture somewhere that I took with cosplays. How random would that be?
right. Hey, it's happened before. Definitely, it's happened before with
Yeah, I
people.
guarantee. It's one of them. I've probably taken a picture without realizing. I'm gonna have to go through now and look at your characters and try and compare. So if I've got one of you, that was so random. if I could find with Luke and Paul. Imagine this for a moment, right? So obviously, you know Tom Welling and John Schneider is Jonathan Kent
Mm,
and
mm,
Clark Kent. 2018, I'd set 3 goals for myself that year when I went full time becoming a DJ. I'd aimed for it was a 4-year goal that I am now doing the job that I like doing to get paid for. I'm not just doing a job. I'm DJing and I'm doing that, but I've got goals now. I'm earning money for myself, not just a wage. I choose what I earn now. I'm self-employed. It was go back to Greece was one of them, to an island that I worked in 2010 and 11. Go to a con and meet a Superman, Clark Kent. So he's Superman still to me. He'll still
yeah,
always
he
be a
is. Yeah,
Superman, even if he was
he is.
just Clark. And go to America. I done them all in 2018, but this first one was LFC Comic Con to meet Tom Welling. Was it LFC? Yeah, it was LFC. And I'd booked a photo shoot with him and John Schneider. And when I was queuing up, they were talking. John Schneider and Tom Welling was having a conversation with themselves and with people coming over about tickling and who's like, if you're ticklish and why you're ticklish, sort of thing. It's the most random thing, but as I went over, again, me being me and the ADHD brain thinks of being funny. As they went to put their arms around me, Tom Welling said to me, "Are you ticklish, Ryan?" And as he put his arm round, I went, "Yes, Tom." But and then I did the whole whoa, as if he pinched my bum. I went, "Yeah, but not there, Tom." And the whole queue broke down in laughter because he went bright red because I'd made it look like Tom Welling had pinched my bum, and it was just everyone was laughing. John Snyder was like, "You got him," and I'm like, "I'm really sorry, I've made you blush." But then as I walked away, I said, "At least I've got a story to tell everybody that Superman pinched my bum." And then
Yeah.
again, everyone started laughing. But when I was telling Paul his story, he was like, "I was in the queue. I was there for that." And then Luke was there for it as well. I was like, how random is that? These guys I meet 6 years later for that moment.
Yeah.
Nobody else believes me when I tell them. It's so crazy. I again love it,
It is.
and I
It's
will
wonderful.
when I go through my con pictures, I'll have a look, and I'm going to go through your costumes. If I've got a picture of me and you, or even just you in a costume, I'll send it to you.
Probably somewhere because it happened with a
More
few
than
friends
likely.
before.
Who's your who's your favorite cosplay that you've done so far? Would you say if you was to go, that is the biggest one, the biggest, not even just because of the John Cena moment or because of the Charlie Cox, your favorite moment of it all, or your favorite costume?
Favorite costume or favorite moment? Because there's two different things. I
Oh, I
think favorite
suppose, yeah,
moment would
okay,
be favorite moment would be Cena because it was
yeah,
just mental. Favorite costumes this because I
yeah,
put so
okay.
much effort into that. I put so much effort into that one. To get it like behind the scenes photos, literally like zooming in on blurry photos to see where something was and how much, even like how much of a gap there is between this ab and the belt and bits and bobs like that. Um, I love doing Daredevil. I love it. It's like as soon as this thing goes on, I feel like a different person, totally. Because obviously you can't see my eyes at all in there. Uh,
But
yeah, it's just
you can see perfectly, yeah,
feel.
from it.
Oh, I can see perfect. Yeah, it's just obviously everything's red, but um, I have my own way of doing the lenses, so that you can't see my eyes at all, and everyone comments on it straight away like that is creepy, but it works really well. And every single helmet I've got, I do the exact same thing. The lenses are all the same. There's like a specific 3 layers that I use that I found. It's the randomest things you'd ever think of. um, but it's just straight
But
away. The
that's
body is
attention to
brilliant.
detail.
Yeah.
That's the attention to detail because yes, I mean I've seen it with cosplayers. I remember seeing some Power Ranger helmets and stuff where the visors were like the Kanye West glasses, you know, them sort of visor ones. Like that
Yeah, yeah,
looks
yeah.
terrible that people are walking around. Obviously, then they started bringing out the helmets you can actually just buy in a shop, which they're good, but they are toys. They're not. they're not.
Mm,
You want it to be fitted, modelled for your head, don't you? Not because whenever I put them on, you can
yeah.
always see the hairy chin underneath. I'm like, yeah, it's not good
Mm.
enough. So if I
This
was going
this
to do
one's
it,
actually
if I was going to do it,
this one is actually scanned to my head, literally. So the guy who printed it scanned my head for the measurements and everything. So it literally is just fits me like an absolute glove. So that's how close this stuff gets now.
so I've got to feel like hopefully this is a good final question for you, right? So this is a big one because we again when we started talking about your page and everything like that, I started with the romantic side of it and how you did the proposal. Now, you and your partner both like dressing up. You're both into this. This is how you met. The wedding. Is it, if I'd be very shocked if you said to me, "We're just doing a bog standard wedding, no dress, no, not one element of cosplay," because that doesn't seem like, from just knowing you officially for an hour and a half, the wedding you would go for. Have you made plans? What's the idea? And if you haven't made plans, what's the ideas that you've got?
There's no plans yet because we've got so much stuff. We're going to America again next
Yeah,
year, which is taking some money and stuff. But there's going to be definitely some stuff in there. There's going to be a mannequin with that on probably, and a Black Widow one.
yeah.
Um, there'll
Oh
probably
yeah,
be a few other things and
on your
stuff.
cake as well. Your cake's got to be
Oh, what?
you,
Sorry.
Daredevil, and
Yeah,
like
probably.
the top of your obviously.
Yeah, or at least me holding that and a pair of batons in hers or something like that. Definitely, there'll be elements of it definitely in there somewhere. Um, there's a lot of planning still on that, but we've
Yeah,
got a lot of other
I
stuff.
just wanted to because I thought,
Yeah,
like I said, to me, it's like that's going to be cool because, like I said, I've got a partner that's not into the world, and the chances that I'm actually going to be Superman or David Tennant's probably very, very slim. But it's exciting to sort of, like you say, you've got to go. You know full well if you two decide if you think, oh, okay, we're going to get married, like we're going to dress up for you know it's probably going to happen. It's going to go that way,
there'll be
and it'd be a
something. Yeah,
really
definitely.
cool wedding.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there'll be some
absolutely.
element in there somewhere. Definitely.
See, listen, if I'm not allowed to use it, you're welcome to take the flying in idea of Superman.
Is
It's
it
yours.
flying
You
in?
can have it because you know, right? Like that's even feasible. Like that wouldn't cost thousands to make sure it happens. Actually, I've got another final question because we only really briefly talked about wrestling because we are both wrestling fans. Are you still into wrestling or are you away from it now?
Follow it a little bit. I'm not like I haven't got it on the
Hmm.
telly and that. I haven't got any of the channels that watch it, but I follow it on Instagram. I follow it on YouTube, bits and bobs. So I love Cody. I think Cody Rhodes is fantastic, and the costumes that
Oh,
he wears are just insane. So I know all about the
yeah.
bloodline stuff and all of this, and I still follow it bits and bobs. And like me and my mate still um, at cons sometimes when I know he's in the room but miles away, we'll just shout "yeah" to see if he answers me. Um, and like you'll just hear from the distance, we'll go just like in the far distance, and I know, oh, there's Tom. um, so I've got little
Uh,
bits that I follow.
so the reason I was going to ask you was because the new Triple H era. I'm not going to lie, I've not been this invested in wrestling
It's been very good.
since the Cena Rock era because
Mm,
I I was fully invested because we were getting my guy came back officially for the first
mm,
time in 7 years, and we got that 3 or 4 years. But I also, because he came back, I then fell in love with CM Punk, who is my neck. If it's Dwayne, then it's Punk because I'm a big Punk fan. I've him coming back, this new era, the Triple H era. Obviously, you said you haven't got the channels to watch it. Come January, you'll have. I'm assuming you've got Netflix.
Netflix. Yeah, no, I will be doing then. Yes, definitely Netflix. I will be back on it.
And
Yeah.
the boundaries that wrestling are bringing in, the storyline, like this bloodline story. I'm not gonna lie, 2 years ago when it was still the Vince thing, I was bored with the bloodline. I was like, well,
Mm,
how could they drag this out anymore? Now I'm like, give me more bloodline. I
yeah.
want to know who's next? Who's are they going to
I
take
saw
next? And like you
the
said about
promo of
Cody,
Cody and Roman in the American football stadium the other day. That was awesome. That was so good.
oh
That was.
mate,
I know
the
it's scripted and
cinema
that, but
aspect of it.
the heat there was great.
When he steps forward as Roman goes to walk off, you're in my way, and just breathes. You're in my way in life. And walks, and then that music, that song that plays. I was like, yes, this fight isn't even happening right now, but I want to see Roman Cody free. And again, I came from the Attitude Era. Rock and Austin, the free we got of that, that to me is the best storyline ever because that was my era. Rock and Austin was the be all and end all. This is this is something else. Like this,
Mm,
realistically, both of them. I know The Rock started and it started with The Rocky sucks, but both of them have worked technically definitely longer than The Rock did to get where he is, but they've both been like Roman. Nobody wanted to get behind Roman.
no.
Cody, look what happened with Cody leaving. And being, I think he asked to leave and decided I'm going to go off and I'm going to try the independent scene. And the right moment, right time to have that all come back to him coming back
Mm,
with the Roman thing, dude.
been good.
It's a great time to be a wrestling fan.
Mm.
And have you seen the my friend? I've got a friend that I met when I went to. Funny enough, I went when I went to Vegas. Took some big wrestling moments. I went to the Ring of Honor show there. I don't know how well you know the independent scene. Marty Scurll. Do you know who Marty Scurll is?
Know the name. Definitely know the name.
He was he was part of the Bullet Club with Cody. He was the
Oh
villain.
right, yeah, yeah,
He
yeah. Okay.
so I
Yeah, I
went
know
to
the
Ring of
Bullet Club
Honor
and all
because
that bit. Yeah.
I came. I Marty was at the same training school as me, so we know each
Oh,
other.
okay.
So, and so I I'd seen that he was doing a wrestling show while I was in Vegas. I was like, I've got to go and see him. And I'd booked the meet and greet to see him, and I'd sent him a message. Obviously, this guy's on a level up here now. Like
Mm,
I'm nothing. He doesn't need to respond to me. He didn't. I sent him a message, hey dude, just so you know, I booked the show. I'm coming to see you. Uh, can't wait to see you. Hopefully, get a chance to chat to you. So I booked the meet and greet with him, queued up, and again, he might not even remembered who I was. It's been that long. But as I got towards the front, I could see him, and he's looking at me going like that. You know, I see. Yes, I stopped and I gave him the ticket. He was like, "Doc, why have you paid for the meet and greet?" I was like, "Because you're Marty Skrull, dude. You're not just Marty from wrestling training. You're Marty Skrull now, right? Okay." And he was like, "Okay." He stopped and he was like, "All right." Got me one of these t-shirts, like have a t-shirt. He ended up stopping his queue. We're talking, and I missed the greatest opportunity photo opportunity I could have. Cody was stood right next to him. This was brunette Cody as well. Was stood
oh
right next
God.
to him, and he leant
Right.
over, and obviously Cody. Yeah, so Cody took over. You could see that Cody had heard us, that he knew who I was, that Marty knew who I was, and he said something along the lines of, "Marty, who's this guy?" He's like, "Oh, we went to the same training school." He's like, "Oh, nice to meet you." And Marty said, "Do you want me to get you a photo with Cody?" I was like, "Dude, no, it's all right. Listen, you've already done enough. You've given me a t-shirt. I don't want to take the piss." That was Ryan not thinking straight. I missed the opportunity to have a photo with the now biggest name in wrestling. Like stupid. I've got some great photos when they're wrestling. I've got literally a picture of Cody stood right near me in the ring, but I missed out on an opportunity. But do you know what I mean? To go back to that and that moment there, that's as AEW had just been announced as well, 2018, or
Mm,
All In might have just been announced.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
it was about to break massive for him. But to see
Mm.
him where he is now, like I love The Rock, but I am still also a Cody crybaby. I'll admit it. I'm a Cody crybaby because he did deserve that. They made the right decision. I'm assuming you followed the whole WrestleMania thing this year.
Oh
It
yeah,
was
yeah,
meant to be
yeah.
Rock
The
Roman and
It
That,
didn't work,
I
and
mean,
yeah, they turned it well though.
the
They did
fact that,
well to turn that back.
oh my God, the how they dealt with it. That was the moment when we realised that yes, obviously The Rock is he's the chairman of the board of TKO, and
Mm.
Triple H, Rock and Triple H are in charge of the product. Again, I came through the attitude era. I'm okay with Rock and Triple H being in charge because that was the wrestling that I love. And yes, it will never be the same, but what they're doing, that did you see the Hell in a Cell a couple of weeks back? Drew
That's a
and
bit.
CM
Yeah, yeah,
Punk.
yeah, 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 yeah. Drones, yeah, brutal. It looked really, really good.
Again, the fact that most of that storyline was built on the fact that CM Punk was out of action for 4 months. Most of that was happening while he was injured. It's the that story, as much as the Cody finishing the stories was fantastic. That is storyline of the year.
Mm.
I you can see that wrestling also sparks an ignition in me. We could end up going on for 2 or 3 hours, but I will be the conscious one that I know you do have work tomorrow, dude. Honestly, this has been an absolute pleasure, and I hope to God you'd
Oh,
like
it's
to
been
come back
great,
again
buddy.
because
Yeah.
we would love to
Oh,
have you back.
definitely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, always
And
up for it.
you'll meet eventually you'll meet the other members of the team as well, and I know they'll be excited to have this conversation when I get off and text them saying just had an amazing chat. Please tell listeners, viewers, your social media so where they can find you.
So yeah, it's just Captain Tempest pretty much everywhere. TikTok, Instagram. Uh, yeah, it's me in a
Here
Superman
we go.
suit and a gym picture.
Yeah, look for Captain Tempest. If you see someone dressed up in a cool costume, you're at the right guy. just in case the profile picture changes, if it's someone either looking like Hugh Jackman, as because I can still see this picture is on my screen over here, like of you ripped. I told you that's now going on my wall. That's my aim. um, Again, yeah, dude, it's been fantastic. Obviously, if you are at this point of the podcast and you haven't already liked, subscribed, etc., do all that cool stuff that you should do when you're watching a podcast. Make sure you do. We're on social media at Talk Talk Podcast. As we always say, and sometimes I'm the one that forgets, don't forget, if you're a card collector and you want your cards grading, TWD15 on treefroggrading.com gets you 15% off. My name's Ryan. This is Troy. Troy, I always say this. Any final words from you as a send off?
What you said about cosplay and like sort of trying to get into it, I just say take the plunge. One of those sites, just
Listen,
take
I'm
the
coming to you
plunge,
for
or just
advice on
make.
everything now.
Yeah, yep. I'm happy to help out.
Thanks, Food. This is Talks with Dorks. That's Troy. I'm Ryan. See you later.